Welcome back to the Comic Dudes, a podcast about comic books and comic book related things. It's that time of the month where we talk about Invincible. If you remember, last month we didn't make the decision on the podcast, but we did make a decision that this would be the month where we read 3 volumes of the trade paperback because there's 25 of them, and this is a year-long celebration. And if you know how to do math, it's 2 a month. Except for that 1 month. This was that month. So, this is also the part of the podcast where I let you all know that there are massive, massive spoilers incoming about the Invincible comic book and the Invincible TV show. So if you do not want spoilers, now is the time to leave the episode. We'll give you a minute. It's a metaphorical minute, not a literal one.
Not really a minute.
You had a minute in the sense of I'm going to pause briefly, not a literal minute. If you forgot how these things work, I recap what we read. I'll give you the high notes, the main story beats, and then we're going to get into our sort of discussion, not really a review, more of a discussion. We talk about the things we liked, the things we didn't, and then anything that was, controversial or a hot take, perhaps. I have come prepared. I have not 1, but 2 bottles of water to keep myself hydrated while I do this recap. That hopefully does not exceed 20 minutes, but it might.
This is going to be the stuff of legend here, people.
Oh. Let me get a sip here, and then we're going to just jump into it.
I immediately thought of Dave after reading these 3 trades. I was like, oh, this recap is going to be something dense here.
This I'm telling you right now, there's a lot. I left out a lot in the recap. I really did try to just hit main story beats with this one because there was just too much, and it's 3 volumes. So
yeah, it's too much.
If you remember where we left off, at the end of volume 18, we find out that Nolan is the heir to the Viltrumite throne. He is now in control of the Viltrumites. There's going to be a lot of that coming up. That, I think, was the main stuff. Dinosaurs died.
Yeah.
Cecil exiled Nolan. Mark and Eve are having a baby. And I think that's the main where we left off last time, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much Thrag. After reading this arc, man, of all the comics I have read, Robot might be Rex, whatever. He might be one of the most villainous people I've ever read. Characters I've ever read. And this one hit me a lot more rereading it, like we talk about. But, I mean, I think the reason why is one of my old favorite WWF pay-per-views was WWF In Your House. Robot is bringing this shit and he is making it personal. He will come in your home. He will blow your wife's leg off. He will kill your baby. This man doesn't care. And the thing that's even scarier about it is he's just it's not business. It's not personal. Mark, I'm just going to strand you in this dimension. It's nothing personal, but it is what it is. And he's just cold and calculating about it. It is crazy, man. In any villain like this, that he is just so well thought out, and he's thought of. I mean, I do like how Kirkman writes him. He does have some flaws in his logic, but for the most part, he's thought of every scenario. He's thought of a lot of the different contingency plans. So, and I don't even remember how we get out of this. But if we get out of this,
Otley Gore is all over the place in these 3 volumes. Particularly when the evil Invincible died. That was an insane panel. That was actually, I think that's the only panel in the comic that I actually had to look away at first. It made me a little squeamish because it's just it is so detailed and so well drawn and disgusting. Obviously the Thrag and Battle Beast fight was phenomenal.
Not when Conquest has a man's liver in his hand. When he ripped his entire intestines and all that didn't bother you. You're cool with that. Okay.
Nope.
Just making sure.
Nope.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good.